let him kind of figure a few things out. Because even if we go 500 ball the rest of the way, we're going to win the division because the Nats and Philadelphia have to go like a crazy amount, 29 and 13 or something like that. So we're in a great position to let him kind of figure a few things out. Still let him be in the tough situation because he's going to have to be there during the postseason anyway. So no matter what it is, Brian Snitker he hasn't seen, like he mentioned, hasn't seen enough of him to start casting blame or moving him into a different role. But the great thing about all this, if he does struggle, and this is our next discussion about the closer role here. Yes, we talked a little bit about the closer role with Shane Green, but if he does struggle moving forward, you can take him and move him up to the 8th inning and allow either a Martin or a Melanson to close. Both of those players, all three of them have closer past. They've done the closer work before. So if Shane Green does struggle a few more outings, you can move him up to the 7th or 8th inning, allow Melanson or allow Martin to come in and close, and then you're going to be fine. Melanson has come in, he's pitched very well. Martin has come in, he's pitched very well. So the only player right now, again, Sean Newcomb is still doing his thing. Yes, he blew a save before the trade deadline, but he came in. He's not a closer. Let's get that out there right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop this broadcast and going to say this right now. All the guys and the gals that want Newcomb to be a closer, it is not happening. Let's be honest. He is not a closer. You can saw he was over his head when he came in for that close for the last 2 outs of that game where we lost. We know that. So
the day of the trade deadline.
Let's move on. Let's move on from the Newcomb being a closer. Let him be the long reliever. That's what he is good at. No more starting rotation. I don't care if you're going to get mad at me. No more starting rotation. Let him be the first guy coming out of whatever. Let him be the first guy coming out of the pen. Let him pitch 3 to 4 innings. That's what he does. He is good at that right now. Why mess with a good situation of moving him to the closer role and moving into the starting rotation? Let it be. Let's move on and now get back into our real discussion here. I had to get it off. I've been waiting to say that for like 3 weeks. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. But if Shane Green does struggle moving forward, we can move him up because he's still a great pitcher. I mean, he's had starting rotation, or he's been in the rotation. He's closed for the last couple of years, so he's doing his thing. We understand that. But if it comes down to being too much to be a closer role for a number one team in the league, in the National League right now, you can move him up, move Melanson into the starting or into the closer role, or move Martin into the closer role. Both of those players have done closing before. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm with you. I think that they would be more likely to put Melanson in the closer role. I think Martin, as far as MLB experience, Martin has only been used as a setup guy. Now, he's got closer experience in the minors, I believe. I think he had closer experience over in Japan. And apparently, he went and tried out. His story is he went and tried out for an independent league, I believe, and an independent team. And the guy told him, he said, "I need you here tonight. You're closing. You're pitching in the 9th inning." So he's got closing experience in that realm. But I don't think he's got anything up in the majors. All that said, if Shane Green struggles, you know what? We brought in 3 pieces that are good in high leverage situations. Mix and match, figure out who's going to work best. Sometimes, especially in that 2017 season, for the 2016 season, for the Indians, when they went to the World Series, they had a system of where Andrew Miller was brought in for high leverage situations. Sometimes it was the close. Most of the time it wasn't, but sometimes it was the close. It was pretty much whenever the big thumpers were coming up for the opposing team, the big bats were coming up, Andrew Miller's coming in. And I could see Mark Melanson doing that. Therefore, with you trusting Mark Melanson to do that, if Shane Green falters, then I would say you move Mark Melanson into that closer's role. and let Chris Martin shift to what Mark Melanson was doing, and then let Shane Green set up in the 8th inning or the 7th inning. But you know what? I think, as you pointed out at the beginning when we first started this discussion, Snitker is not ready to make a change. He has not seen enough. And I would dare say that, the front office is probably like, we're going to stand behind Snitker on this. He's out there. We're the numbers guys. He's the one that goes with his gut. Somehow, some way, those two mix, and we make it work. And we're going to trust him to be the manager on the field. And whenever he's ready to make the change, we're going to support him if there's a change that needs to be made. I expect us to go into Minnesota. Let's play competitive ball. Let's win this series. And I'm telling you, as soon as we do, as soon as Shane Green gets that first save, you better watch out. As soon as he gets that first save, you better watch out. I think he's going to get that first save, and he's going to go, okay, that's the first one. Now let's go. Bring it on. Yeah. Bring it on.
And I love that, that mindset, because it's going to happen. It is going to happen. And I'm looking up, and another thing that popped in my head about what Shane Green has gone through with a 1.18 ERA down in Detroit, the Tigerland. And I'm looking up at the attendance that the Tigers have had. 989,000 people have attended the Detroit Tigers. Okay? And for Atlanta, in 2019, 1,875,000 people have attended. That's a big a difference compared to what Detroit is doing. So you take that, okay? You take that realm. We're already halfway. Look, back in 2018 when we lost in the LDS to the Dodgers, we were at 2,555,781. So we're almost there anyway. We're going to surpass that. I mean, we've averaged 2,500,000 for the last since 2000 and good Lord. The lowest one we've had was back in 2004 was 2,300,000. So we're starting to kind of, let's start here. You heard what I said about Detroit Tigers, about 978 or whatever it was. I deleted it off my screen. So you saw what that. So he was pitching in a crowd that really there was nobody there. Let's be honest. There was nobody there, and Shane Green goes into a situation where the first 2 games he was there, it was sold out crowds down in SunTrust. I know that it shouldn't mean a thing, but let's be honest. In a closer situation, when the last out of the game is the hardest one to get, and then you come in for your first time being a huge acquisition through the Braves bullpen. Yes, you blow the save, but you're also going up against a attendance that is sold out. I mean, so it's a big difference when it comes to what he was seeing in Detroit as the fan base, and what he's seeing there in SunTrust, which is a great problem to have, but it's a tough situation.
Absolutely. Very tough. I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't look at it as, yes, he came in, but it's stuff, he's not going to blow past you. I understand that he's a finesse pitcher, like you mentioned a little bit earlier, but I don't look much into it because it was a sold out crowd. Both nights he was there but you come in to save the game. We understand that we picked you up from Detroit to be our number 1 closer, because the entire GM and coaches that are on Facebook, just bashed Luke Jackson. I will be here. I will sit here right here and say I did the exact same thing. I mean, let's be honest, because I got headaches, I got ulcers, my heart stopped every time he come into the game. I mean, that's our first instinct. We understand that. But now you move Luke Jackson. He's still a terrific pitcher. We saw that when he came into the 10th inning and went 1-2-3. We saw that. So it's a tough situation to come in for Shane Green to be able to do his thing as a starter or as a closer. But again, you have those pieces to be able. We revamped our entire bullpen situation. Newcomb can move up. He can be your long guy. You don't have to really worry about now, are the prospects going to come in and be that high-ranking prospect that we all the Braves fans and whatnot didn't want to get rid of. And then they come in and they struggle, and then, maybe he was never that really good anyway, blah, 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 blah. So you brought in veteran guys that has been there. Melancon, he received the big contract from the Giants a few years back. Yes, he has a 3.38 ERA, which is still a good ERA for the bullpen. I understand that. He has closing situation. Again, you mentioned a little bit about Martin having a brief stint as a closer down in the International League. But you have guys. But now you have guys. Luke Jackson can move up into different situations where it's either not too high situation, but he came in the 10th inning, which was a terrific situation for him to stumble. Let's be honest. We expected him to go out there and allow 2 or 3 runs. He strikes out the side. So it's a completely different mindset. And, even Chippin on the radio broadcast mentioned that Luke Jackson received a standing ovation during that game because of how he has handled this entire situation about everybody bashing him. The only people that were backing him were the people inside the clubhouse. Let's be honest. Everybody else was bashing. Everybody else wanted him, death threats and all. I can't confirm that, but there probably was. So... Yeah. It's a tough situation to be a closer on a number 1 team, especially when somebody has never done it before. It's a tough situation. And shout out to what Luke Jackson did coming into we've only seen him once since Shane Green has taken over the closing role for good. And so, but I love what you said about, once Shane Green gets that first save out of the way, it's game on. That's exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we have to look into, because once he does, it's up from there.
Absolutely. As soon as that first save is notched, be on the lookout. It's going to be. They're going to start racking up, and we're gonna. I was looking right now. There's an article out why it says why Shane Green may not be the Braves' savior after all. Well, that's the thing. I don't know that the Braves needed saving. I still think that it is possible that they could have won the division even if they did not make acquisitions. I think it's possible. Do I think they would have? I'm not sure. I think it was 50-50, but I think it's possible they would have won it. But some of the bashing by fans and even even journalists, whether it be for Fox Sports, Talking Chop, whatever this article was that I just found, whatever it is, he's hit a little rough patch, and maybe he was in a rough patch before we got him, and this is just the culmination of it. We don't know, but he's going to get it figured out. We'll get it taken care of, and he's going to start closing games for us, and they're going to start racking up, and we're going to be a 90-win team just like we expected to be.
I'm telling you, it's crazy once you get on one topic, and it can literally go 20 minutes, and then you run out of time already. We've already passed our time limit. So, my friend, we're going to dive deep into next week. Give you a little preview of what we're going to discuss a little bit about Christian Pache moving up into the minor leagues. That is just happy he moved up. We haven't seen the stats of him getting into a ball game just yet, but we'll have all that coming up. Tonight, the Atlanta Braves take on Minnesota. First place versus first place. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. It's going to be fun to see what we do. Can Shane Green move on from his struggles from the first 2 games? Can he move on and take care of Minnesota when the Atlanta Braves give them a lead into the 9th inning? My friend, any last words before we let you go?
No, I think, like I said, Shane Green's going to be fine. Bullpen's going to be fine. We're going to win 90 games. We're going to win the division. And we're going to see the Dodgers in the second round of the playoffs in the NLCS.
There you go, brother. Hey, like always, God bless. This is Trey Snide, Jordan Crane with the Bravo Times Sports right here on the Community Radio Network. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, yeah, Freddy, 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 Freeman, Freddy, Freddy.